Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. I know, you miss me, right? I've been gone for like a week and change. It would have been much longer, except for there was a different outcome from my surgery that I had last Wednesday. I won't get into the crazy details with you guys because I know you guys don't give a shit. If you do, then I'll give you like the Cliff Notes version of everything that's been going on. So I've been having some health related issues since like New Year's-ish. And after billing my insurance for $5 bajillion and me paying out of pocket about 20% of that $5 bajillion, to rule out anything heart related, they came up and finally saw that there was some tears in my left rotator cuff. And they thought that's what was causing my pain on this side. And so they went in with their little knives and their little cameras and their little gadgets, and they cut me open. And then they said there was no tear, even though there was an MRI that showed a tear, whatever. But that I had really bad bone spurs, and so they shaved those down, and so I was in a sling for a couple of days. Now I'm not in the sling, but I still don't have full range of motion. So that's where we're at. So, my hair looks like trash. It's the best I could do with not being able to raise my left arm any higher than my chin. And aside from just throwing on foundation and like a coat of mascara, this is about as bare minimum makeup as it gets for me, unless I do absolutely no makeup, which, no, you don't want to see that. So this is what you get. So today, which it just hurts just to do this, today I will be reviewing for you guys. Okay. I said I wasn't going to review these books, and for many reasons, a myriad of reasons, not the least of which was that I didn't know how many people would actually be interested in watching a review for these books, because they are considered young adult fiction. They do have like 1 or 2 sex scenes in it. It's not anything crazy, so would you consider it smut? But it is, at the end of the day, it's a love story, I suppose. So, yesterday, Stephenie Meyer, whatever, released a press release that said that she was going to be publishing the, what is it? Maybe like the 5th book, I guess you would consider, in the series, because is it really like a 5th book if it takes place at the same time as the, I don't know. Anyway, she released that she was going to be publishing Midnight Sun. So Midnight Sun is kind of like part of the Twilight Saga. So Twilight was a series of books. There's 4 books in total. There's the first book, Twilight. The second book is New Moon. The third book is Eclipse. And the 4th book is Breaking Dawn. This book that is coming out will be called Midnight Sun, and it is essentially the same story, except for from the point of view of Edward Cullen, the main male character. I don't know how many people are like chomping at the bit for this book, because I feel like it's like, okay, but we already know this story, so is there going to be any like massive revelation? No, not really. I mean, it'll be something to read. If you're a diehard Twilight fan, why is my shirt crooked? I don't know. You know, then you're probably excited for this book. I read the books. I saw all the movies. I don't really care for Kristen Stewart as an actress. I'm sorry. I just don't notice a lot of range and emotion in her facially, whatever. If you love her, good ups on you. Be that diehard fan. That's your business, okay? Robert Pattinson, I won't lie. During the height of the Twilight craze, I was like, okay. Same thing goes for, what the fuck was his name? What was his name? Taylor Lautner? Real life name? Taylor Lautner? The guy who played Jacob, who during New Moon, he like ridiculously beefs up and he loses that terrible long-haired wig that he was wearing in the first movie, because you fucking know it was a wig. Don't try and play me. And he looks real good. So from books 2 to 4, it was like, God, I want to be Team Edward. Like, I'm legit Team Edward. I have to be. But, you know, Team Jacob's looking, is looking kind of, okay. So Twilight was a phenomenon across the globe. Okay. Like, they had their own fandom. They were called like Twihards or something. And like, you were either Team Jacob or you were Team Edward. Like, you had like those little runoffs that were like Team Jasper and Team Emmett, and nobody cares. You're either Team Jacob or Team Edward, right? So Edward is the vampire side, and then Jacob represents the werewolf side. Like, they're a Native American descendant from wolves, right? Okay. So, yeah. And then you have this girl stuck in between who's just moved to stay with her dad in rainy ass Washington State or Oregon State or something like that. And she's miserable, and she's your typical angsty, like high school age, you know? And then she sees this dude, right? Why am I getting into it and I haven't even given you guys the deets or the blurb? I'm getting ahead of myself. 7 minutes in. Okay, chill. Okay, so, yeah. So you can get the entire collection in ebook format for the Kindle for $39.99. That is just for books 1 through 4. It does not include Midnight Sun. It has not been released yet. You can get them in paperback, which I don't know if that's large paperback or mass market, for $48.98. These books have been out since like 2009. Okay. The movies have been out since like, no, that's a lie. Okay. The movies came out even before that. So the books have been out for God knows how long. You can find these books everywhere. Goodwill, thrift stores, eBay, yard sales, everywhere. Because that's how long it's been out. That's how popular it was. Everybody's tween daughter had a copy of these books, and then after she grew out of them, she sold them or her parents gave them away or whatever. They're everywhere. Go to Goodwill. I will guarantee you, you will find at least one of the 4 books for like 50 cents. Okay? If you're interested in reading them, buy them used. Do not buy them new. Because if you're watching this video right now, and you watched my previous videos and you're here for the smut, because you know that's what I do, you may be disappointed in these books. I'm not going to say they were a god-awful, but they are considered young adult fiction. The writing style is juvenile, I guess you would say. They're written for teens, right? So you don't expect that like a 15-year-old girl is going to have the most worldly ideas about like how a book should be written. Like, that's me. I'm fucking 35, okay? I've read in the thousands of books. I have a discerning taste of what I do like and what I don't like when it comes to writing style, when it comes to like when they use big words, and when, you know, how a sentence is structured and whatever. I'm by no means an author. Disclaimer. But I know what I like. I know what's good. If you've seen my suggestions and you went and read those books, you know that I know what's good. Okay? These books are okay. They're okay. They're decent for what they were. And that was a teen romance novel that somehow skyrocketed to fame. And they made 4 movies out of it. 5 movies? 4 movies. 5 movies. I know 5 movies because the second movie was broken into 2 parts, like they did with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, right? So, yeah, they got famous. The first soundtrack, no lie, was on repeat on my iPod Touch because dated for months. That was during my emo phase. They had Paramore on that soundtrack. They had Linkin Park on that soundtrack. I have a tattoo that was inspired by the song by Linkin Park on that soundtrack. Like, that was part of my life at that period of time, okay? Now, as an adult, I can sit back and I can go, these books are not, they're not the best, but they're decent for what they were, okay? So if you're interested in reading them, I will read the blurb, and then we can break it down a little bit. I'm already 12 minutes in, so this is obviously going to be like a 30-minute video. It is what it is. And then we can go from there, and if it sounds interesting to you, then buy the books, but buy them used. Because if you buy it and you don't like it, I don't want you blowing up my comments like, bitch, I spent $50 on books that you suggested and they were terrible. No. eBay, Goodwill, thrift store, okay? Local, his house, whatever, okay? So the first book you can get for Kindle by itself for $10.99. I assume it's the same on Nook. I was lazy, I didn't check. Paperback, mass market paperback is $9.79. And you can find the first book used on eBay for around $5. So whatever floats your boat. So I will read you guys a blurb and then we can break it down and I'll give you my rating and then you'll be free of me. Okay? So the blurb for this book says, Isabella Swan's move to Forks, a small, perpetually rainy town in Washington, could have been the most boring move she ever made. But once she meets the mysterious and alluring Edward Cullen, Isabella's life takes a thrilling and terrifying turn. Up until now, Edward has managed to keep his vampire identity a secret in the small community he lives in. But now, nobody is safe, especially Isabella, the person Edward holds most dear. The lovers find themselves balanced precariously on the point of a knife between desire and danger. Deeply romantic and extraordinarily suspenseful, Twilight captures the struggle between defying our instincts and satisfying our desires. This is a love story with bite. No, it's not. I'm sorry. No, it's not. If you're 15, then this video is for you. If you're 30, if you're 25 to like 45, no. Sorry, but no. It's cute. It's the story itself, the premise of the stories, the overarching whatever, cute. You know, it's got a good plot, right? You have like this secret society of vampires that are like old and crusty, and in the movies they were not old and crusty though. Like they got actors that were, well, 2 of the 3. The third one was just but 2 of the 3 were like, you know. But yeah, so essentially, I don't know why this blurb is just for the first book. It doesn't tell you everything about all 4 books. I'm not going to read you all 4 blurbs because we'd be here for an hour. Isabella, aka Bella, because that's what she goes by throughout like 99.9% of the books, moves to Forks, Washington to live with her father. Her parents are divorced. Her mother is in like a relationship with this like semi-pro baseball player or something, and like they have to travel for his games and stuff, and Bella's like, you know, so she's like, all right, I'm just gonna go live with my absentee father, even though I'm gonna be miserable. She does that. She moves to Washington. She starts school, she's socially awkward, mostly because of her own attitude, because she's very standoffish and she's very like, you know. And then she sees the Cullens, and the Cullens are like portrayed as perfect in every way. Physically flawless, you know, they're pale skinned, you know, some of them have blonde hair, some of them have like brunette hair, whatever. And, you know, they're ethereal. I think that's the best word to use, like ethereal looking creatures, right? They're high school students, even though they look 30. And she's like, yo, who dat? Who dat? Like, I'm asking my 4 friends who have really forced themselves upon me, and I have not really done anything to reciprocate this friendship, but whatever. So, you know, she's like, yo, who dat? And they're like, oh, you know, those are the Cullens, but don't bother talking to them because they're really antisocial and they don't talk to anyone and whatever. So she has a class with Edward Cullen. The first day they meet, he has like a little mini spaz attack and he just like up and leaves the class. And she's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Like, what's up? So in these books, they're vampires. And depending on how long ago you were turned, you can control the bloodlust more than if you're newly turned. You have to like fight that shit. So unless, like, for some reason, Bella is not only immune to Edward's particular power, because in this universe, each vampire has like their own thing, like their own little something extra they're blessed with besides just being immortal. Like Edward can read people's minds and Alice can see the future, or she gets like premonitions, and I forget what Jasper does. Mood control, something like that. I don't know, whatever. So Bella is the only human that Edward can't hear. Like he can't hear any of her thoughts. Typical. Like you can see where this is going. So yeah. So he smells her and he's like overcome with like the most intense bloodlust he's ever experienced. And he has to just get up and run away because he can't be around her. Later on, he realizes that like, oh, this is something special. I just gonna have to fight that shit because I'm obviously in love with this girl. She's like my soulmate, right? So throughout the 4 books, it's eventually like the 2 of them becoming a couple. And then you have Jacob, who's her friend from the Indian reservation, the local Native American reservation. And they're like the sworn enemy of the Cullens because they're basically werewolves and the Cullens are vampires, and naturally they're like, they, you know. So Jacob is in love with her. She is not in love with Jacob. At one point she thinks that she is, but it's more like Edward's disappeared and we broke up, and you know, I need to hang out with you more because I'm miserable and whatever. So it's kind of like a love triangle, but not really. So yeah, that's sort of the cliff notes for at least the first and into the second books, right? So I don't want to give any spoilers away, but you know, vampires are supposed to stay hidden. There's a secret society of ancient vampires in Italy who oversee like all of the other vampires in the world, who make sure they follow like the basic rules of vampirism. Like you don't feed in front of humans. You don't let people know you exist, you know, that kind of thing. You break the rules, they come for you hardcore, and you know. So at one point towards the end of those books, like they have to battle it out with those guys because Bella wants to be turned. Edward doesn't want to do that to her because he doesn't want to subject her to a life that he really regrets having. And you got Jacob over here who's like fighting for her, and it's like, no, you're not going to become a vampire. If he turns you, we're going to consider that an act of war, and the werewolves are going to come for the Cullens and we're going to fuck them up. So it's a good premise. The writing style for me was a little bit juvenile because, again, they're written for teens, tweens, like that is their target audience. So for what they were, and during the time that I read them, they were decent. If you are a teenager and you want to read these books, I think you will enjoy them. If you are an adult and you want to read these books, depending on what kind of authors you've read in the past and like what writing style you like, everybody has different likes and dislikes. What I like, you guys might think is trash. What you like, I might think is trash, so I really can't say. But if you do want to give these books a shot, buy them used, look for them on Book Depository, look for them on eBay, look for them at your local Goodwill or thrift store or whatever, and read the first one. If you're intrigued, read the rest. What do you have to lose? Time. Time is all you have to lose. And maybe like $5 total, because I'm telling you, you'll find these books for like $1. So for the rating for the overall series, I will give it a 7.5. Not because they were terrible, but again, because they just aren't my cup of tea now as an adult. At the time, I probably became obsessed with the fandom and would have given it a higher rating if I wasn't the mature lady that I am now. But I will give them a 7.5. If I say one more time, I'm just gonna so yeah, I really appreciate you guys joining me for another video. I really appreciate everyone who hung in there during my absence and did not ghost me, because I put out a little post before my surgery saying that, hey, there might not be any videos for like a couple of weeks because I'm having this done, and I would really appreciate it if you bitches did not ghost me during this difficult time. If you have ghosted me, rude. It hurts, you know, but it is what it is. If you are still here, I appreciate you. You are the best. And I will have more reviews to come. If you would like to subscribe to any of my other social media, whatever accounts, I do have a members only Facebook group. I have an Instagram and I have a Twitter, all under variations of What the Smut. I will put the links in the description below, and I will put a little banner here at the bottom of the screen for you to see. If you like me, if you like my videos, if you like my channel, if you think I'm absolutely ridiculous and you just can't get enough, I totally understand. Toot toot my own horn. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video, or go back and watch some of my other videos and like those videos, whichever ones you did like. And if you'd like to leave me a comment and suggest an author or a book that you haven't seen so far, I would absolutely love that. I got nothing else. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me for another video, and I will see you guys in my next one, okay? I love you so much. Bye! Hello, my muffins of love. I just died in your arms tonight. I am so tired. I have been fighting the urge to film for several days. I'm wearing a sports bra, an oversized t-shirt. I can't lift my arm above a certain height or at certain angles without experiencing immediate excruciating pain, but I just don't learn. So I've done it several times. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. It is what it is. I got a new laptop. It's really nice. I was going to record on that laptop because I have a webcam on there. But when I pulled up the webcam, I realized the quality of the webcam is absolute garbage. So no. Audio, I don't know, didn't test it. I just saw the grainiest version of myself and I was like, No. I look bad enough in HD. Like, no. So, yeah, that's, but I'm going to do my best. If not to get back on my 2 video a week schedule, then to do at least 1 video a week for the next couple weeks. And then after that, hopefully I'll be able to get back to 2 videos a week. We'll fucking see. Whatever happens, happens. It was so hot. It's so fucking hot in here. It was 88 degrees today. 88 degrees. And like, I already have on a sports bra, which does absolutely nothing for support. Like, let's be honest, ladies, absolutely nothing for support. So like, I'm not going outside because then I'll just have pools of under boob sweat. So in the AC house I stay, but still, it's still hot as balls in here. I don't know why Charlotte's yelling. Richard's home, so he's gonna tend to that, and I'm not gonna do anything. I'm off, okay? I'm in like self-imposed timeout for like half an hour. Richard, can you please handle that? Because I don't wanna. Fucking hell. I just realized that I didn't explain to you guys why I didn't show the books in this video. Okay, I'm 110% positive that at one point in time I owned all 4 of these books. Where they are, no idea. They've just like poofed. Checked all my bookshelves, can't find them. Checked my Book Buddy app, not registered in there. Fuck all if I know what happened to these books. But I guess I'll just have to rebuy them. But I'm gonna show you guys the covers for all of them in the video, when I do my little, that's, you know, or maybe I didn't, did I do that? Because I know I said I was going to do that for Midnight Sun, but I don't think anyway. So if you guys want to see what the covers for the first 4 Twilight books look like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I've done my due diligence. You're welcome. I'll see you guys later. Bye.